and welcome to episode 3 of Barely Controlled Entropy. In this episode, we're going to talk about course selection, the classes we take, what that course selection process looks like, and then, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah. We're also going to be talking about the open curriculum, which is something that's not specifically unique to Amherst, but that is unique to very few schools in the country.
Yeah. And it's also like a big part of being a student at Amherst.
Absolutely.
So I think to start, we should kind of reintroduce ourselves in that what we plan to study in general. So I'm Zhihan. I'm the Law, Jurisprudence, and Social Thought major. I just declared like a week and a half ago, so that's been really cool. Yes, thank you very much. But as a result, my course of studies has generally been either in my major or in adjacent topics like history or hopefully in the fall philosophy and some political science as well.
Yeah, I'm Anurima. I'm a philosophy major, but I'm also a pre-med, so I've been taking a solid mix of both humanities and STEM classes, the usual intro, chem, bio, and then I've taken some upper level and lower level philosophy classes as well.
And my name is Christian. I want to dual major in French and English, so I added another useless major from last time. I eventually want to go on to teach comparative literature at the college level. So most of my classes have been either French or English, but I've also taken law classes, and this semester I'm taking a sociology class.
Cool. Yeah. I also want to live in a cardboard box.
Woo!
Does that mean academia?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Let's go. But I am a prospective math and computer science major.
Wait, what happened to physics?
Reality.
It got thrown out the window so quickly.
Yeah. Physics is kind of tough. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I still love my advisor. He's cool. But yeah, I've taken mostly math and physics and computer science courses, and yeah, that's where I'm at.
So something to talk about is that as a first year, before you go and pick your classes, in the summer you'll be assigned an academic advisor who typically will stick with you throughout your career here at Amherst. And my experience is a little bit different because my advisor went on sabbatical to go write his book, and as a result I have a different advisor now than I did in the summer. But that's not to say that it's hampered me in any way. Like, both advisors are obviously more than qualified and have provided some really insightful advice into how I should go about picking courses. With that said, once you declare a major, you then get a advisor within your major who's just an extra person for you to kind of discuss things with and go over your course selection. So I actually was just assigned my major advisor, and we've already met to go over what courses I'm going to take in the fall.
Is it Austin Serrett?
No, it is not Professor
Delaney?
Serrett. It is Professor Delaney, which works out really well because he's the professor I had first semester for legal questions, which is the introductory course to Law, Jurisprudence, and Social Thought. I'm just going to call it LJST from here on out because that is a mouthful every single time. In the fall, we were all given the option to take 3 classes instead of 4 as full-time students, mostly due to the pandemic. I believe that that's not going to be an option in the fall, and that to be a full-time student here, you will have to take 4 or more. With that said, there is still going to be a January term next year, like there was this year. I ended up taking 4 courses in the fall and in the spring, so technically I've taken more courses than I've had to, but it's not like it's going to save me time in the future. It was more so just, I think for me, an effort to get a larger knowledge base before declaring and before going into some higher level classes.
Yeah, one thing to mention is that in your first semester here at Amherst, you take a first-year seminar course, and that is the only required course that you must take throughout your entire 4-year career here. And that course is assigned to you, so they have a selection, and before you start first semester, you rank all of the options for first-year seminars that you find from most interesting to least interesting, or something like that. And then they'll go ahead and assign you to your class. And the offerings have been really interesting. So I took something about translation. I don't even
Did you
remember the
forget?
title anymore.
Really interesting. Forgets the name.
Living in language crossing and
Yeah,
living
that's
in
the one.
translation. There we go. It was
King
really
Benigno.
interesting. And then Zhihan, what did you take?
I took reading Asian American.
And I took evolution and revolution.
And I took telling stories.
So the variety of classes is for first year seminars is pretty wide. And I think the goal of a first year seminar is to sort of get us all to a point in our reading and writing abilities where we're able to sort of adjust better to a regular Amherst humanities course load.
Yeah. Because those seminars are all very reading and writing intensive.
Yeah.
So, for example, I think 30% of my final grade for my seminar was in the form of a research paper, which, obviously prepares me for the 3 that I'm writing this semester. That will come to bite me in about 2 weeks. Just looking ahead at my schedule. But I think my biggest takeaway from my entire seminar might not be the course content, even though it was incredibly relevant and worth learning about. It was learning how to write more effectively and how to actually do research where you're not having your hand held through every step of it. That's not to say I didn't get guidance. I met with my professor a lot, and that in itself, being able to do that is something that is facilitated by the size of Amherst, and each seminar is limited to 15 students. So as a result, your professors are going to be on average way more accessible.
Yeah, I think as a very STEM student, the seminar was a huge shock to the system. The amount of readings is just for me, it's insane. And I think my biggest takeaway is, firstly, is that it forces you to read things that you would never read otherwise.
Welcome to our lives as
Yeah.
humanities majors.
Welcome to humanities majors.
Literally, why would you read some stupid biologist in the 19th century? It just doesn't make sense.
Bruh.
But it was really interesting because you study an idea or topic in a lot of depth, and you end up having a very good picture of that idea, and you see how it kind of relates to the world that we live in currently. And in addition, I think it really helps to develop your writing skills. For me, having all these actual college essays, due once every 2 weeks, that really forced me to learn how to think and learn how to write quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that I think even if you come into the school as a good writer, some of the people that I've met here, they have shared with me that they've had their butts whipped by the amount of writing and reading that they have to do here, and and I also feel my writing has improved immensely since I've
Oh yeah, same here for sure. I think one good thing is that, especially with entry-level courses like that seminar or other 100 or 200 level courses, professors are going to place emphasis on giving you good feedback in terms of where you can make improvements. So in the fall, I took a course in the poli-sci department called Work with Professor Boone. That was also a primarily reading intensive course. We only had to write 3 essays over the course of the semester, but each essay was a very substantive piece. And her policy, which is, from what I can tell, somewhat unique to her, is that you would submit a rough draft. She'd give you very extensive margin notes as well as more generalized feedback at the end. You'd get that back, and you'd have 10 days to revise it for a final grade.
Yeah.
And you get an initial grade, but it doesn't go in the system anywhere. It's just to tell you where you're starting from. And so stuff like that, it's very much encouraging you to improve your own writing, through the incentive of grades, which is yes, we don't want to stress too much about how we're actually performing, but
attach a tangible result to it.
Yeah, and also, we're in college. We're still students. Grades do still matter.
Yeah. And I know, for my first semester here, I took legal questions with Professor Seitz, and we had a writing assignment just about every week. And the format would be we'd write for instance, 1,000-word response on a topic. Then next week we had to revise it down to 750 words while still retaining the core ideas. And each time he gave us very substantial commentary. So the writing process in those, especially like Zhihan said, in those intro level classes, that is really core to a lot of the classes here. I think Amherst has like some unofficial nickname, the Writing College. I know that's what the admissions officer said when he came to my high school. Though I think a lot of colleges like to call themselves the Writing College.
I mean, also we have a reputation as a singing college because of the a cappella groups on campus. So
You're joking.
Really?
Oh
I
no,
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
straight up,
That's true.
that's actually true.
Bruh.
Okay, so we're the singing and writing college.
Woo!
Isn't that fantastic? In terms of courses, my course selection was obviously very influenced by the fact that I came in with a pretty tangible understanding of what I wanted to major in, which is, again, part of why I declared my major relatively early. You have to declare by the end of your first semester as a sophomore, so I'm about semester and a half early, give or take. My main reasoning was honestly to make sure that in the fall and in next spring, I do get priority for courses within my major to make sure I get those courses. But other than that, I've taken, out of my 9 courses because of J-term, and for each semester, I've taken 4 LJST courses, 2 history courses, one of which can be also counted in Black Studies, SWAG, which is our Women's Studies major here, and I think European Studies as well. So a lot of interdisciplinary classes here.
Yeah.
I took a poli-sci class, my seminar, which was under I think technically might have been an English course actually.
I don't think you can count seminars for.
I don't think you do, but like I'm trying to think of like what I don't think it actually
is. A lot
is.
of them are probably like most analogous to English courses.
Yeah, I don't think they're they're under their own specific category and like heading in all of our databases.
Seminars are generally very interdisciplinary.
Yeah.
And I also did take a multivariable course because my reasoning for that was that if I didn't take it then, I'd forget it completely. I would forget literally everything from high school. And here we are, it's April, it's been like 5 months since I've did any sort of math and it's all gone.
What is an integral?
I was about to say,
Beats
who knows?
me. Couldn't tell you, aren't you pre-med?
Yeah, but
Don't you need math?
no.
No, she completed her
don't?
requirements in high school.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
good.
like calc
You just need
and
like
L.
2 semesters of calc, right?
Yeah. You
Really?
Need 2
Yeah, that's
semesters-
most schools.
You need 2
Oh,
semesters
we're cool.
of calc, but
Yeah.
you do need a semester of stats. So
Ew.
yeah,
Disgusting.
exactly.
Disgusting.
So my course load first semester was stats, seminar, chem, and a philosophy course, and then over J-term I took another English class, or my first English class, and then this semester I'm taking chem, bio, philosophy, and another English class. So working through both philosophy major requirements, pre-med requirements, and classes that I have a general interest in.
Yeah, for me, I actually only took 3 courses for both my fall and spring semester because I'm lazy. So,
But also like, aren't you taking ones that require lab and technically like speaking? It's
no, I've never taken a lab course.
Really? Some of those don't count as lab courses?
No, I mean, math courses don't have lab. Computer science doesn't have lab. And
Oh, that's weird. I feel like they should count for that, but
well, I mean,
That's beside
we
the
don't
point.
have like a lab section. We don't do experiments with numbers and stuff.
okay, yeah, no, but like the amount of time that you devote to
Yeah.
it, I think you have more meeting
research.
times
Yeah,
than
Alan
we do.
is taking a lot of higher level classes as compared to I guess us.
Cool.
So
Thanks.
I mean, there's
Well,
that.
yeah, it's kind of a factor
Yeah.
that matters because what are you in, like 3 something for math right now?
I think I took 3 math courses, 2 computer science and 1 physics. And I think a point to make here is this is like kind of off topic, but like these courses, like their difficulty really depends. Like, you know, there are some that are really like easy in terms of time commitment and some that are really hard. So kind of when you're picking it, like, you know, some people might be taking quite a lot of courses and vice versa, but like, you know, the difficulty really depends on the course.
Yeah, and it even varies like at the like level of the course, because both last semester and this semester I took a 300 level French class, and last semester it was just about the easiest class I've taken while I've been here, and this semester I think my French class is by and far the hardest.
You're kind of buried by your French class.
Yeah, I just finished an 8-page essay for comparing like 5 or 6 different texts in medieval French. So
Extensive.
yeah, and we have like a couple thousand lines of poetry to read each night. It's a really great class, and the professor is awesome. It's just, it's a lot of work.
I think that's something that's definitely standard around here. The classes are all amazing. The professors are all amazing. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I think coming here, you come in with an understanding that you are going to be pushed beyond what you were at in high school. Most likely.
Definitely.
Definitely.
But it will also be far more rewarding, and the work that you do will be more meaningful. Because I haven't felt like I've had to do busy work at any given point. Even if my readings were long, they were all still very focused on the topic and still relevant to my studying.
Yeah.
So like it's not like I could just kind of skim through it. I'd still have to read carefully. And I think that's actually a testament to our professors for picking said readings to go over, because I mean there's no point in reading something that's not relevant to what we're studying, right? And I definitely haven't felt like that's been a thing ever.
Yeah, busy work is at least non-existent, I can say, in both Zhihan's experience and my experience. What do you guys have to say about busy work?
Yeah, I haven't had much busy work. It's just there's a large volume of the not busy work, and if you don't do the readings, you're going to be pretty lost in class the next day. So I think a lot of students end up having like a reckoning when they first get to college. Like, wow, I really have to like actually clearly delineate my schedule for the week. Like I on Anurima's advice ended up getting myself a planner, and like I've been using that to actually organize out what I do every day of every week.
Yeah. I think one of the big things that we can talk about in perhaps next episode is our own studying strategies and like what has worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, or like, you know, general tips that we can maybe give to people going into college.
Disclaimer, Zhihan is the only one here who like actually gets his stuff done like before like it's due. I think like all three of us are like grinding to the last minute when it comes to getting stuff done. So look for study tips from him, definitely not from me.
Yeah, I like wrote the essay pretty much the night before it was due, even though we had like 2 or 3 weeks to do it.
Yeah, I think for me it's like you underestimate the amount of time that you need to do things, but then you also underestimate the amount of time that you have. So what ends up happening is like you're like, oh, I'm gonna spend the whole week, you know, hang out with friends and party and whatnot. The work catches up with you. And then you realize that you don't actually have that many social activities lined up, so that's fine.
Woo!
Yeah, I think basically it's all about finding that balance, and it's very doable. And I think your professors are also here to help you with that. They're all very understanding if you need to say like miss a class for like a vaccine appointment. They're going to
Us tomorrow.
I need to email my professor about that.
That's potentially like especially relevant to us currently, but you know, for good reasons, professors are going to be very understanding about you missing class and are going to be more than happy if you ask them for help to help you out.
Definitely. And that's something we'll expand on more in the next episode. So keep your eyes open and ears peeled for that.
Sure.
Ears peeled.
We'll go with it.
Open?
Ears peeled?
Yes.
Eyes peeled, ears open?
No, ears open. No, eyes open.
Just keep an eye out. It'll be coming.
Same bat time, same bat channel?
What?
Oh my god, you uncultured swine. In like the 60s, there was a Batman TV show starring Adam West. And I can tell that I probably shouldn't be talking about this, given the reactions of my peers.
This is a tangent.
No, it's not.
We deeply apologize,
No, you
because
don't.
it seems that at the end of every episode we go a little bit off topic, but that's okay.
We win these.
Again, we hope that this has been a somewhat illuminating, if hopefully at least not overly confusing, look into our courses here and our thought processes about said courses. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening.